The universe is a place of profound, haunting silence, a vast ocean of darkness and the distances between islands of light are measured in trillions of miles. For as long as humanity has possessed the ability to look up and wonder, we have asked ourselves if we are the only ones adrift in this sea. We built radio telescopes the size of football fields, scanning the frequencies of the stars, waiting for a whisper, a code, or a greeting. But while our ears were tuned to the static of the stars, a physical visitor crossing the threshold into our home, this guest did not arrive with a broadcast. It arrived as an artifact known to the scientific community as 3IATLAS. This object is not just a rock, and it is not just a comet. It is a cosmic anomaly that has shattered our understanding of physics and forced us to confront a reality that was once the sole domain of science fiction. To understand 3IATLAS, we must first understand the rarity of its presence. For billions of years, gas that formed with our sun. And then came Oumuamua in 2017, a jagged red needle that accelerated without a tail. Then came Borisov, a traditional comet from another star. But 3IATLAS is the third, and it is the one that finally broke the silence. And when the first data packets from the Gemini Observatory reached the desks of astrophysicists, the mood was one of cautious excitement. The trajectory was clearly interstellar, originating from far outside the Kuiper belt, moving at speed born in our solar system could achieve. Early models suggested a standard cometary body, perhaps a remnant of a distant planetary collision. But as 3IATLAS drew closer to the warmth of our sun, it began to undergo a transformation that defied every chemical model we possess. Most comets sprout a coma, a fuzzy atmosphere of gas and dust, as ice turns to vapor. 3IATLAS did not. Instead, its surface began to change color in a startling, synchronized metamorphosis. Cold, abyssal blue to a vibrant, glowing emerald green, while green comets exist due to diatomic carbon. The intensity and uniformity of the glow on 3IATLAS were unprecedented. And then, as it reached its closest approach to the sun, the impossible happened. The green faded, and the object began to shine with a brilliant, burnished gold. This was not the glow of gas. It was the reflection of a solid metallic surface. Scientists were no longer looking at a dirty snowball. They were 80% of the light that hit it, a level of reflectivity higher than any natural rock in the known universe. The mystery of its appearance was only the prelude to the mystery of its behavior. As the Chandra X-ray Observatory and the Hubble Space Telescope synchronized their gaze on the visitor, they detected a signature that sent shock waves through NASA and the European Space Agency. Most celestial bodies emit X-rays in a random, chaotic fashion. 3IATLAS was emitting X-ray mathematical pulse. It was a heartbeat in the dark, a time sequence of energy that suggested an internal power source or a complex structural reaction to solar radiation. When researchers at Harvard, led by the provocatively brilliant Avi Loeb, began to analyze these pulses, they found a pattern. This wasn't just noise, it was structured. It was as if the object was waking up in response to the sun's energy, a dormant machine fueled by the very star it was. Passing, the concept of necrotechnology began to surface in high-level briefings. The idea that 3IATLAS might be a derelict probe, a piece of ancient technology from a civilization that might have vanished millions of years ago, still carrying out a programmed mission through the graveyard of the galaxy. Perhaps the most chilling discovery regarding 3IATLAS is its point of origin. When astronomers traced its path backward through the celestial sphere, calculating its journey across the light years, they found that it emerged from a specific coordinate in the constellation of Sagittarius. This is the exact same region of space from which the famous WOW signal was detected in 1977. For nearly 50 years. The WOW signal was the greatest maybe in the history of SETI, a high-intensity radio burst that never repeated. Now, half a century later, a physical object arrives from that very same spot. The statistical likelihood of this being a coincidence is so small that it borders on the miraculous. It raises a haunting possibility that the signal was a long-range announcement, and 3IATLAS is the arrival of the messenger. If this is the case, we are not looking at a random visitor, we are looking at a targeted encounter. The behavior of the object as it navigated our inner planets further fueled the fire of the artificial theory. Gravity is a relentless master. It dictates exactly how an object must fall through space. Yet as 3IATLAS neared the orbit of Mars, it deviated. It performed a course correction that shifted its trajectory by 60,000 kilometers, a distance far too large to be explained by the subtle pressure of sunlight or the venting of gas. This was a maneuver. It was as if the object was steering itself toward a specific destination. Its current path is taking it directly toward the Jovian system, aiming for the moon Europa. Europa, with its hidden subsurface oceans, is considered the most likely place in our solar system to harbor alien life. To see an interstellar visitor adjust its flight path to pass by our most habitable moon is enough to make even the most skeptical scientist pause. Is it possible that 3IATLAS is a scout programmed to identify and scan worlds with liquid water? As 3IATLAS continues its journey, the Subaru telescope has captured high-frequency ultraviolet flickering from its golden surface. And when this light is plotted on a graph, it resembles a binary code, a rapid-fire transmission of data. If this object is a probe, it is likely gathering vast amounts of information about our sun, our planets, and our own radio-leaking civilization and beaming it back to its point of origin. We are being observed. This realization brings with it a profound sense of cosmic humility. We have spent our history fighting over invisible lines on a map, convinced of our own dominance. Atlas reminds us that we are likely just a footnote in a much larger, older story. The object is miles long, a colossal structure that has survived the crushing vacuum and intense radiation of interstellar space for eons, and its engineering is so far beyond our own that we cannot even identify its engines or its sensors. We are like ants watching a skyscraper fly overhead, unable to comprehend the scale or the purpose of what we are seeing. The window to study 3IATLAS is closing. It is moving at speeds that exceed the escape velocity of our sun, meaning it will never return. By the year 2030, it will be a faint ghost on our furthest sensors, disappearing back into the infinite dark from which it came. There are calls for a desperate, high-speed intercept. As we look at the night sky now, we no longer see just points of light. We see the potential for millions of artifacts like 3IATLAS, drifting in the shadows, waiting for their moment to pass through the light of a star. We have learned that first contact might not be a conversation, but an observation. The golden visitor is moving away, but it has left behind a question that will haunt our species' mission, a project Lyra that would use advanced solar sails to catch the visitor before it leaves. But the technological hurdles are immense. For now, we are left to watch from a distance as the golden Musafir departs. But the legacy of 3IATLAS is permanent. It has broken the great silence. It has shown us that the universe is not. Importantly, now that they've scanned our world, what will they do with the data? The era of human isolation is over. The heartbeat in the dark has been heard, and though the silence is returning, we will never again believe that it is empty. We are part of a grand, ancient, and perhaps very crowded kainat, and the arrival of 3IATLAS was the moment we finally woke up to that truth.